Okay, so Monique came on Club Shay Shay with the receipts. Receipt on receipt on receipts. I was super inspired by the interview. Powerful performance. She's captivating, funny, interesting. I mean, I was watching it like it was a Netflix movie. I was leaning in just like Shannon Sharp was leaning in. I was putting my glasses down like Shannon Sharp. She's at me like, so what happened next? What? Okay, so I don't think the public really knew the whole thing with Oprah. So the thing with Oprah was that Oprah, after she won Precious, had her on the show after Barbara Walters said, I would never do that to Monique. I would never have, not her family on the show. Like, I don't want her to have to deal with this about her brother who did things to her and her mom. She didn't tell her mom and grandma, I think her mom and her grandparents were going to be on the show and never really apologized. So they were kind of at odds. But I think they were like, okay. And so then when she wouldn't promote the movie for Lionsgate, so what happened was she promoted the movie under Lee Daniels and did all her promotional obligations. But then Lionsgate was like, hey, we need you to go to the Cannes. And Oprah called and was like, I understand what you're saying. And then a guy that knew Oprah told Monique that Oprah got off the phone and was like, I would never pay her. And he was like, why not? She deserves it. And we've been talking about Taraji and everything. And it's just like, yeah, you can't just be doing stuff for free. Like, these are huge corporations. Like, they want to pay people pennies all the time. And she was standing up for herself, and just nobody had done that before. So it just looked crazy. These corporations always have the money. They have the money. We all saw Bob Iger's, how much he's getting paid, his salary. They have the money. It's about you having the audacity to ask for your worth, even though they wouldn't have the money if they didn't have people with these God-given talents. They basically are like, we don't have the money for you. We got the money for us. So she said she had talked to Taraji about this years ago. And Taraji was like, we just got to keep going. And then, this was the crazy part. She said, like, Oprah was like low-key, like, or high-key, I guess, blackballing her and taking her role. So every time, like, Monique, like, it wasn't even like she was up for the role. It was like, Monique, we want you for the role. And they were like, Oprah wants the role. And, you know, she's going to get the movie done. She's got the money. So it was like The Butler. And I forgot, it was another movie, I forgot, or show or something. And then, so she was saying, she has Tyler Perry saying on tape that he did her wrong. And so, what the thing that he said that he did her wrong was like, basically the same thing, that Will Smith did to, the black Aunt Viv. I can't think of her name right now. And like said she was difficult to work with, so that cost her money. Like, and she was supposed to have that Empire role, Cookie, and nobody wanted to work with her. And Tyler Perry did admit that that was a lie. And she said the only person who could say I was difficult was Will Packer, because they want, like, you know, that low budget movie that always pops up on our timelines around Christmas where he's like, I'm about to go get Aunt Bertha or something. It's just a gun. But Will Packer, and her were beefing, and the way they were treated was so bad. She said the food was bad, the trailers were bad. The trailers blew up when she posted on her Instagram, and she was only supposed to do a guest spot because on the back end they were going to give her like 3 movies or something like that. And so I'm like, dang, Monique almost died over a cameo. They got Cameo as an app now. She almost died over that. So the other crazy thing was, she said Kevin Hart, like, tried to talk on her behalf to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was like, I don't want to talk about him. He was like, that's cool. We could do our own thing. And I heard that podcast, and I was like, oh, Kevin Hart is really sticking up for Monique. That's cool. And then she said when she went to her, like, she was already working on something. So whatever company, she was like, I got Kevin Hart. They were like, oh, that's amazing. Yeah, of course, Kevin Hart is going to go. And then she said Kevin Hart wouldn't call her back, or Dave Becky, his manager, said, we don't want to work with you. And then she tried to get to Kevin Hart directly, and she couldn't get in touch with him. When she said that, Shannon was like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening, Monique. So Kevin Hart is trending again. Kevin Hart, one thing he's gonna do is trend. So yeah, Kevin Hart should clear that one up because that's one I can't defend him on. That sounded like he left her out to dry. Oh, the other cool thing she said about the Lionsgate thing is she was like, they would have sued me if I was supposed to do that stuff. So obviously I didn't have to do that stuff. So the thing where I'm kind of 50-50 on was the D.L. Hughley thing. So like, I think in the contract she was supposed to headline. Then somehow he sent out a memo where he was supposed to headline. Then he showed up late, and so she had to go on. And then we all know she had a rant and went viral. And then the thing with Monique was she messes up, she goes too low. And so she brought up things that happened with his daughter, which made her look like the bad guy. And then D.L. Hughley already responded today, which I think when you're in a beef like this, a public beef, when you're trying to get the public on your side, it's never good to be angry and just insult somebody. I think just bring the receipts and talk in a classy way. But yeah, so he had his response today and said her Netflix special was trash. She did say in the interview, I don't think D.L. Hughley can follow me, but I don't know, that's petty comic ego stuff. Personally, me, if I'm making that much, I want to go first. Like, I want to go home. I don't need to stay up all night. Being a headliner is annoying because you got to wait all night when people are tired and still make them like, you have to work harder. Like, I will go first. I don't need the headline. I don't care. That's what Don Rickles and Joan Rivers did. Like Joan Rivers was like, I'll go first. I don't care. And then like Don Rickles wanted to switch. She was like, nah, we old. I need to go home and get my soup. But yeah, I'm on Monique's side. I never thought, yeah, she was fully lying. It was just, and she said this herself. The way she went about it, like you can't tell Oprah the S shit D, you know, and just go on rants and stuff. Like the way she did it today, that's how she should have been doing it the whole time. Asking us to boycott Netflix was just a bad idea. So she said she got her money from Netflix or it was settled. I don't know what that means. I don't know what happened with Lee Daniels. But at least she has Lee Daniels behind her and they did a movie. One thing I got from the interview though is Monique is talented as hell. That's what I got from the interview and she still got it. So I hope she gets a couple more movies and just keeps elevating, which I thought she should have did. I think, I don't know, but it seems like the biggest criticism, which I think is true, is she does more complaining and talking and going on this "they did me wrong" tour instead of just creating stuff and just, you know, fighting back. But you know, she got with 50 Cent, she got with Donald Glover, she got back with Lee Daniels. So gotta give her credit for still standing. And obviously she's still doing stand up. Everybody's talking about how she cooked Tiffany Haddish. I was just like big auntie, kind of telling little auntie to sit down. She said if Tiffany Haddish had a husband, she wouldn't be getting DUIs and all other trouble. Which, yeah, Tiffany Haddish is kind of vulnerable with that one. That's kind of like Nicki Minaj with her boyfriend. It's just like, it's nothing you can really say because we all just seen you out there making mistakes you shouldn't be making. Yeah, Tiffany Haddish is definitely not at peace. So I think everybody agrees on that. Great interview. I'm exhausted. I sat through that whole interview today. But I think she accomplished what she wanted to accomplish. I mean, she said she wanted to make sure the people coming up behind her stood up for themselves and realized you don't have to take it. And that's true. Like watching her is just like, okay, you can advocate for yourself and you don't have to do certain things. And, you know, you don't have to be so wide-eyed when you get your first deals or when they're asking you to do certain things. Just make sure you're getting paid. For too long, they're just getting you to do everything and not paying you. And the coldest line where he said, I don't pay people for free. And she said, well, I don't work for free. And word. Oh, and at the end, she ate Shaq up. She gives really good dating advice. The stuff she had to say about dating and marriage. A lot of it made sense. She wore black for a reason.